Killer Croc, an already aggressive foe while living. But now that he's been infected by the anti-life virus, he is nothing short of a nightmarish beast. Even while the infected ravage the streets, we cannot let this monster roam around. We've tracked his latest killing spree to the old Ace chemical plant. We get in, we set the place to blow, and take out the Croc and as many of the infected with him as we can.
Batman, in order to take down the Croc for good, you're going to need to gather the explosives I'm marking on your map. Once you've gathered all 4, you can spend an action to destroy the first spawn point located in Ace Chemicals. After destroying the chemical plant, you'll have to kill Croc to win the mission. But be careful, Batman. Croc will respawn immediately on the first spawn until it's destroyed. Also, be careful when opening doors and revealing zones with bystanders in them, because Croc's sense of smell could pick them up and grant him extra activations. We can't afford any losses. 2 or more dead heroes and this mission is a fail. Good luck with this nightmare, Bruce.
Hi, here's my playthrough of Mission 7. Following our last mission where our heroes rescued Oracle from the clock tower, I've removed her card from the game to make things a bit more narrative. We start by powering up each hero. Bane's ability powers him up by 2. Ivy goes first. She'll spend power to vine grab and toss Batman forward. Then she'll move down and power up again. Batman will turn and punch open the door, spawning enemies in the zones with an exclamation. All of our heroes are in the blue power level, so we'll spawn the blue amounts. The bystander should have been revealed here, but I'll get him in a second. Fearlessly, Batman runs in and tosses batarangs into the room on his left. He'll be rolling 2 dice, looking for 3s or higher. Just a side note, I used these cool dice for a bit, and these symbols represent 6s. They're cursed, and hard to see though, so they'll be switched out in a few turns. Harley runs to the right and in an alley to power up, hoping to grab the explosive soon. Here I remember to spawn Carmine Falcone.
I'm insulted.
Bane, unenthused with his new teammates, will move 1 and crack his knuckles. Croc sees Ivy taunting him through the open doors of Ace Chemicals and charges towards her. The anti-life equation calculates Batman to be a bigger threat and moves in on him. On to spawning, again we're in blue, so we spawn 1 brute, 4 walkers, 1 brute, and lastly 1 runner. With 4 spawns, our strategy right now is to position our heroes to be able to pick up the explosives at roughly the same time, holding off on hitting yellow for as long as we can. Batman will power up and spend all of it to attack, rolling 6 dice. The horde quickly surrounds him and he's just not able to land more than 1 blow, netting him 1 experience. With a second attack, he takes down 1 more walker. Bane, assuming Batman's poor performance is due to a bad back, will move into support with an attack. Looking for 3s or higher, he grabs a walker in each hand and bashes the 3rd with them. Clearing the zone, he'll move onward. Bystanders move after zombies, so I'll move him now. Ivy's turn, she'll spend a power to vine toss the charging Croc aside, and then spend 2 actions to move in, and a 3rd to grab a utility belt, which allows her to search for any heroic trade card. Harley's first action will be to bust open the door with her mallet, causing a spawn. Hi! Then she'll move in and grab the equipment. Unfortunately for her, it's a zombie with a batarang stuck in his head. Unfortunately for him, she'll use her bonk ability to kill him for free. For the enemy phase movement, the horde closes in and Croc decides to go after Ivy. Again, starting with the first spawn and going in a clockwise circle, we'll spawn new threats at the blue level, bringing in lots of runners which have 2 actions each. With a mighty roar from Killer Croc, the runners let out a collective screech and move in on their prey. Ivy and Batman, feeling the pressure, lose 1 power. Our final spawn is an anti-life pulse. This allows Croc to activate to move in with Ivy, causing her to lose 1 power. And that will end this enemy phase. Ivy is currently in a lot of trouble, and our other heroes are positioned to grab the explosives. Again, we're trying to hold off on hitting yellow for as long as we can, so our heroes might sit on the objectives until everyone can get into position. Ivy, recognizing the danger she is in, will use her utility belt to get the heroic trait Slip Through, which allows her to use all 3 of her actions to duck and dodge through the anti-life crowd and escape the chemical plant.
Sorry, love. You're plucked.
Harley will swing her mallet down for her first action. Zombies sidestep her attack, but her bonk ability lets her kill one for free. A second swing sends the last enemy flying. Then she'll toss one of her batarangs out the door to stop the runner that tried to sneak up on her. Batman will power up his first attack, rolling 3 dice, looking for 3s, and killing both runners. Despite not wanting to, he'll rescue Carmine Falcone, who allows him to discard traits for power. Lastly, he'll throw another pair of batarangs out the door, but only hitting with one of them. Bane will pick up this stun rod, which adds the benefit of giving 6s 2 hits instead of 1. He'll move into the explosives and wait for the signal that everyone else is in position. The enemy round starts off again with the anti-life horde chasing after our heroes. Because Bane held off on picking up the objective, we continue to spawn in the blue level. These horde cards spawn everything at your current and previous levels, which in both cases will be 4 walkers. And we have our first supervillain spawn. Catwoman spawns on the closest hero with equipment.
Looking for something?
The scent of Bruce lingers on the batarangs that Harley found, so that's where she appears, ending the enemy phase. In an effort to keep from hitting yellow, Bane hears Batman's struggles in the other room and abandons the explosives to help his former foe. Powering up his attack to 5 dice, looking for 3s or higher, he kills them all and remains just under yellow. Batman pats Bane on the back and runs for the explosives, stopping for a heroic trait. This stand your ground card allows Batman to attack when something would enter his zone, and he'll end his turn by powering up. With a toughness of 3, Harley will power up an attack with her mallet, looking for 4s or higher. Harley is 4 experience points away from yellow, so she'll end her turn after this attack, which succeeds in smacking Catwoman back into the shadowy corner she appeared from.
Girl like me lands on her feet.
Ivy starts by lashing a runner into pieces, then she'll spend a power to toss Croc back into the chemical plant, and then run into the corner to position herself to grab an objective. For this movement phase, we have an example of splitting happening where a zone is equidistant between 2 heroes, so the horde splits up in both directions. On to spawning. Again, we've managed to maintain the blue level. We have brutes spawn and then activate. And we have another zombie villain, this time the Joker. He's last in target priority and can add a bunch of runners to the board. And another brute rush. The board is really crowding up, and we don't want to get overwhelmed with extra activations, so we'll definitely be hitting yellow this round. Bane, unafraid of death, charges through the doorframe and into the street. Attacking with a stun rod means a 6 will allow him to kill a brute with 1 hit. Powering up his attack, he's able to kill the brute and a walker. This puts him in yellow, which grants him an extra action. So he'll attack 2 more times. He's too enraged to aim properly though, and only manages to hit 1. Batman, slightly relieved that he has a chance to redeem himself, will pull a U-turn to help out his savior from last turn. Powering up and looking for 3s or higher, he tosses a batarang that splits into 3 pieces, dropping almost everything around Bane. Getting an extra action, he'll drop the last zombie, and move out to help fend off the incoming hordes. Harley bonks the brute for 1 power, leveling her up to yellow. Hearing the distinct laugh of her former lover in the distance, she wastes no time running into the next room to grab the explosives, powering up, and moving back towards the exit. Ivy glares at the oncoming horde, thinking this is her moment, before deciding to run away and regroup with Harley. Safety in numbers. For movement, again, zombies will move towards the closest hero they can see, which is part of the reason why Ivy ran away, but if they can't see anything, they'll simply move to the closest hero. I do forget to move Croc 1 more time, but it won't matter too much. After the Joker activates, he spawns a runner in his zone. On to spawning, this is our first round where we're spawning in the yellow. Drawing this crushing charge means all brutes will move up 1, and it causes Batman to lose his heroic trait.
So this is gonna hurt, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Continuing on, we have 2 runners and 4 walkers in an enraged charge that causes all walkers to move up 1. In a dramatic moment for Harley, she'll step outside to confront her puddin' with tears in her eyes. Without breaking eye contact, she'll bonk the runner for free, power up her attack, and swing, looking for 4s or higher.
You know what's great about you, Puddin'?
She looks away, but feels her mallet contact, the one thing she loved most.
You really put the fun in funeral.
With her smile gone, she'll power up and draw a heroic trait. Batman's first action is to jam dual batarangs into a brute, and then he'll turn around, power up, and attack the oncoming horde of them. Lastly, he'll grab this heroic trait, which lets him stop enemies from moving into his zone. Bane will charge forward, power up his stun rod to max, and deliver a massive blow. Again, any roll of a 6 counts as 2 hits, which means a single 6 is enough to take down a brute. 3 6s will clear the zone. Ivy, who is still in blue, will step out past a crying Harley. Attacking once, she'll score 1 hit, and a second attack scores 2 hits. For this movement round, there's a couple instances where zombies see a hero move, but then see a closer hero who they choose to pursue instead. If Croc had been moved up last round, he would have been killed off by Bane and respawn, and ultimately ended up right where he is currently. On to spawning, we have nothing too eventful happening in the yellow level. Right now, the board looks really scattered, but we don't have too many runners or brutes out, which means we don't have to worry about extra activations, and most of our heroes are in a safe spot. Except Bane.
You will fight me with all your resolve.
Powering up his stun rod to max, Bane attacks with 5 dice, looking for 3s or higher. Again, any 6s will count as 2 hits, so he manages 6 hits in total. Breaking Croc's back, he swings him by the tail and takes out the runner as well. Bane's rage takes him dangerously close to the orange level, which we are not ready for, and a new Croc immediately crawls out of a chemical vat.
I will hunt you down.
Bane's second action is to move, his third action is to power up, and his fourth action is to spend all that power in a huge attack. Dealing essentially 4 hits, he takes out 2 brutes and bumps up into orange. His orange ability gives him a free attack and a way to spend power to deal that many hits. We can immediately use his backbreaker ability for the free attack, 2 knees, 2 enemies, 2 hits, 2 broken backs. Harley attacks with her mallet, looking for 4s or higher. Scoring 1 hit, she'll bonk a runner for free. Attacking again, and this puts her into orange, which allows her to push all enemies in a zone and move. Her third action is to move, her fourth action is an attack, powered up, using the batarangs, looking for 3 or higher. Ivy sends a vine from the ground to twist open the doorknob, opening a path to our explosives. This causes a spawn, in this case, a walker rush. We are in orange now, so spawning 6 walkers. As the walkers pile in, a terrified donut-wielding Harvey Bullock pops out from behind his hiding place. She'll power up her vines, looking to roll 4s or higher, scoring 5 hits. This puts her into yellow, granting her a 4th action, which she'll use to clear the room after moving in. Batman, on the defense, will plant his foot down and start hurling non-stop batarangs. The anti-life virus computes the most death and shambles the horde closer. Croc, who just won't stay down, charges back for more. On to spawning. At our first spawn point in orange, we have the Huntress, who has a ranged attack.
Do you know who I am?
And we need another zombie villain for the spawn at the top. We've gone through all of our supervillains, so it's time for Catwoman to make a reappearance.
I have a thing about strays.
she'll spawn on Bane, who has equipment. Our third spawn is a horde card, and lastly we'll spawn a bunch of brutes. Ivy, recognizing the urgency of the situation, will leave a grateful Harvey behind to run and grab the second of 4 explosives. She'll then spend a power to toss her friend Harley forward. Not wanting runners to flood the city, Harley will bravely charge the huntress, mallet in hand. Spending 2 power, she'll use the straight card to get an extra 3 dice. I did roll 1 too many here, so I ignored a success and used the 4 hits on huntress and a runner, and bonked a second for free. Harley will spin her mallet, her orange ability, which lets her spend a power and push the enemies into an adjacent zone, and then move for free. As Catwoman sneaks up on Bane, Batman stops her cold with 4 powered-up batarangs. Turning to his right, he'll toss another pair at the oncoming horde. This puts him in orange, which grants him an action during supervillain spawns, and can allow him to grant an ally an action. For his third action, he'll draw a trait card. Batman's fourth action will be to power up. Going toe-to-toe with Croc once again, Bane powers up and unleashes his rage. Rolling 6 dice and scoring 6 hits, Croc goes down and immediately spawns once again. Bane will use his free attack to try and clear the zone. Feeling his venom start to wane, he's not too confident about taking on the runners and will regroup with Batman in the center. Meanwhile, the Croc's latest spawn catches sight and smell of Harley.
I've got your scent.
Onto the enemy phase, starting with activations. The zombie horde will move in closer, forming a tighter ring around our heroes. Croc lunges from the ceiling on an unsuspecting Harley, slashing her for 1 damage. On to spawning. Again, we are in the orange zone. We need to spawn 4 brutes here, but we simply don't have enough. This means we'll put out as many as we can, and then all brutes on the board will activate. Luckily, all of our heroes come out unscathed. Unfortunately, the 4th spawn point induces another activation. Batman isn't as lucky this time as a brute grabs him in a bear hug from behind, causing 1 wound. The brutes now pose a serious threat to our heroes. Having been multiple zones away, every hero is now facing serious threats, and with only 2 runners left, we need to focus on clearing the horde. Powering up as his first action, Bane will punch his Venom Juice button and start pummeling the horde, starting with his free orange ability attack. No longer using the curse dice, we score 2 6s, which count as 2 hits, allowing us to remove the brutes, and then we can allocate the rest of the hits to the horde. Having cleared the zone with his second and third actions, Bane leans back to let out a venom-enraged roar. He'll end his turn by drawing a heroic trait. Ivy's first action is an attack, looking for 4s or higher, and clearing her zone. Turning to face the oncoming horde, she'll power up and spend it to attack again. Clearing the zone once again and bumping up into orange. Ivy's orange ability allows her to spend a power to roll as many dice as there are horde enemies in a zone, which is an insane attack demonstrating Ivy's superiority over the anti-life virus. She'll move forward and use her last power to toss Batman into the fray, hoping that he can help her friend Harley. Vengeance himself will power up his attacks and proceed to open up a can on the brutes in his zone. Batman doesn't follow the rules here. Because of the target priority, these hits would have gone to Croc instead of the brutes, but thankfully it ultimately won't matter. Harley makes a futile attack that lets her use mallet spin to push the enemies away. Then she'll turn and do some crowd control and run out to join Batman. For the enemy's activation phase, we see the horde move in, and the Croc lunge out at Batman through the doors.
Batman.
May you find the peace in death that you did not find in life.
And on to spawning, again starting with the first spawn and going in a clockwise circle, spawning at the orange level. Harley's turn, she'll start off by powering up and then spending said power to make an attack against the now toughness 5 Croc. Swinging her hammer like a golf club, she sends Croc flying back through the doors. Moving forward, Harley makes the tough decision to mallet spin the enemies out of the way and into Ivy's zone, freeing up the path to the objectives, but possibly at the cost of her best friend.
Let's play a game, Red.
Ivy, understanding the importance of what needs to happen, will steady her mind and draw the straight card, which allows her to roll extra dice for each roll of a 6 on an attack, which, when combined with her overgrowth ability, which lets her roll as many dice as there are horde zombies in her zone, can create a monster attack. And with a whopping 14 dice, she scores 11 hits and 4 bonus dice rolls. The trait card states that the bonus dice rolls can lead to further hits, and these bonus dice lead to an extra 7 hits for a grand total of 18 hits. Ivy barely moves as she sends a giant beanstalk from beneath the sewers to uppercut the enemies of her zone into the sky. She'll casually walk to the rest of her team and power up as the horde rains down around her. Here's a problem that our team is facing currently. There are 4 bystander cards on the board, and 2 of them will activate Croc. Since we've revealed Harvey and Carmine, it means that both of these Croc cards are in this one building. Opening the door will instantly grant Croc 4 actions, which is enough to hit any of our heroes. Batman, knowing the hardest choices require the strongest wills, will move up and kick open the door, causing a spawn. The crushing charge here spawns brutes and then causes all of the brutes on the board to move, including these which would move into Batman's zone, but he'll use his hold them back trait to spend a power and prevent them from moving. And we'll flip over the bystanders. We already know that they're going to activate Croc, but it turns out Lucius survived our last mission.
I'll help you this one time.
And we were too late for this guy, so he'll be a runner. And at this point I realize I forgot to move Harvey, so he moves up now. Croc, hungry for more, takes his 4 actions, moving up and taking a bite out of Bane. And Batman will end his turn by powering up. On to enemy activations, Croc takes 2 more big bites out of Bane, and our enemies move up even closer. On to spawning, and things are looking grim. We have 2 runners and 4 brutes. If runners get 2 extra activations, Batman dies, and so will a hero from our center square. And 2 dead heroes means game over. We're going to take things slow for this spawn, starting off with 4 brutes. This depletes our supply of brutes, and any extras will result in activations. We have 5 walkers, causing all walkers on the board to move 1. And in each zone with the hero, 1 walker is replaced with a runner. This is particularly bad because now any extra runner activations and it's game over. Our 3rd spawn calls for 8 walkers. And now for our last spawn, again, anything with a runner and we lose. It's a zombie hero with walkers. In this case, the Joker's back for more. Our heroes got really lucky that round, and there was so much potential to lose. We need to get the remaining explosives, blow up the chemical plant, and put Croc down by next turn because we will not survive another round. Ivy is at it again, rolling another bucket of dice and scoring 13 hits. She manages to kill all but one of the walkers from Batman's zone. The blood of her enemies feeds her plants, granting Ivy her red ability, which allows her to attack adjacent zones when performing an attack with her lashing vines. This means attacking this zone will let her attack here, and those attacks are eligible for the Overgrowth Orange ability, which means she can roll 1 dice for each horde zombie in the zone. Ivy's second action will be to power up, then she'll spend a power to toss Harley forward towards the objectives. Then she'll spend a power to use her Overgrowth ability, and a second power to power up the attack, rolling 5 dice, attacking her zone. With 5 hits, she manages to kill Croc, who reappears in the chemical plant. Using her free red ability attack, she'll hit this zone with 2 hits, and spend a power to use Overgrowth while attacking this zone, rolling 6 dice, looking for 4s or higher, and scoring 4 hits. Another tremendous game-saving turn by Ivy.
We will become the most powerful force on the planet.
Harley starts off her turn swinging, bonking the runner for free. Attacking, hitting twice, killing the last 2 runners. She'll then use her orange mallet spin ability to spend a power and move for free. Finally, she'll move on into the room with the explosives and grab them, granting her 5 experience, taking her into the red level. Batman will use his Bat Gadgets ability to spend a power to take out a walker creeping up behind Ivy. Using Carmine Falcone's ability, he'll discard his heroic trait to power up for free, which he'll immediately spend powering up his batarangs to attack the middle zone, looking for 3s or higher. 2 hits go to the brute first, the rest clear the zone. His second and third actions are to run into the room with the explosives, and the 4th is to grab them. Batman leans out the window to toss Bane his explosive, Ivy hands him hers, and Harley tosses her 2 to Bane as he charges past into Croc's nest, spending his last action to blow it up. And with that, our hero phase ends. With the nest out of the way, the only thing left for us to win the mission is for Croc to fall one last time. He looks a tired, weary Bane in the eye as he readies to lunge in and finish him off. Bane looks up just in time to see Croc's hand slashing towards him for the kill. He closes his eyes and remembers the time he broke Batman's back. He remembers Osito. He remembers the darkness he was born in. However, Batman is always prepared. He'll spend 2 power to activate the venom injector he sneakily slapped onto Bane's back earlier, juicing him up beyond his wildest dreams just enough for a final attack. With this empowered strike and 2 power, he'll roll 7 dice looking for 3s or higher, dealing 2 wounds on a 6. And with 6 wounds dealt, Bane picks up Croc and snaps him in 2 across his knee, tossing both halves into the burning vats of chemicals, winning the mission.
Killer Croc's Lair. You didn't think it would be easy, did you?
Thanks so much for watching. These playthroughs take a lot of work, so please consider liking and subscribing, and if you'd like to see how you can get one of these card holders for yourself,